All of us feel confused when we are to decide what to read. We know we want to read more, we know the benefits of reading, but we just cannot decide what to read. If that is your problem, I can help you solve it today, so keep watching. Hi guys, I'm Manpreet. I make book related videos on this channel. If you're new here, please make sure you subscribe, follow me on my social media and turn your notifications on so that you get notified every time I post new videos. Now, let's talk about how you're going to decide what to read. Number one thing that you need to tackle is the genre. Fiction, non-fiction. What are you going to read? Now, both have their benefits and they are enormous. For example, fiction can help you develop empathy. That can help you understand people better. It also boosts your thinking skills, boosts your vocabulary, help you develop your soft skill, and there are so many more benefits of reading fiction books. Non-fiction books are equally important, okay? There are self-help books that can help you solve different problems and help you learn different things to make your life better. Then you can read books on different subjects and just improve your knowledge about those subjects. And then there are the memoirs that can help you understand somebody else's life, somebody you value, somebody you look up to, and help you learn through that. So non-fictions are equally valuable. What is something that you should read, fiction or non-fiction? I would say combine both of them. In your reading life, both the books have an equal importance and they should have an equal importance. So make sure you are creating a balance of both. So maybe read one fiction and then non-fiction, or two fiction and one non-fiction, depending on which is more difficult for you. For example, if you find non-fiction books very difficult, then try reading two fiction books and then one non-fiction, then two fiction, then non-fiction, and opposite if you find fiction more difficult. Now, I would classify non-fiction into three different categories. One is where you're just focusing on a specific subject. Number two is memoirs, and number three is self-help. And when it comes to fiction, there are endless types of genres, but main are like crime, mystery, thrillers, and romance, fantasy, and stuff like that. Now I know what you're thinking. Manpreet, I know about all of these things, but tell me, how do I pick the genre and how do I know which genre I'm going to like or which subject I'm going to like? And for that, I would say it depends on your previous experience. If you have read any kind of books before, document it and try to understand what you have liked in them, and then go from there. If you have never read any kind of books before, then pick easiest kind of books. Try one book from every single category, every single genre or subgenre, I would say, and then go with that. Okay, it is ultimately some sort of an experiment that helps you understand about yourself, and that is another benefit of reading books. Okay, because then you get to understand what you are really like as a person, what you really like as a person. That self-awareness really makes a difference in your life. So yes, previous reading experience and then hit and trial works really well. And you could also look at the kind of movies you like, okay, and then try to find books in the same genre as those movies. Or you can even pick up your favorite movie and see if it is based on books. Most of the movies that are really good are based on books usually, so you can just read those books and start from there. Keep in mind, it's always harder to start, but it gets easier over time. And if you're enjoying the video so far, make sure you subscribe and continue watching. Next thing you need to tackle when you are to decide what to read is the reading level. If you pick up a book that is much above your reading level, it will be incredibly difficult and discouraging for you to read the book. Okay, for example, there are fiction books. Indian fictions are mostly written in a very easy manner, but then there are some books, there are some authors who write seriously riddles instead of words, and those can be very tough for you in the very beginning. Okay, now non-fictions are usually written so that even a basic level person can actually understand the books, but then there are some books which are highly technical, or the author just did not smooth out their writing enough so that anybody could read it. You should avoid those kind of books. You should always try to figure out what is your reading level, and I always recommend you begin with children's novels first, and that is something that you can start with, and then move forward from there and just try out a little bit more difficult books. Now this is very subjective, because when you pick up a book, you cannot really know what is the reading level. Okay, every book is different. It's very easy to classify books according to the age, but then there are children's books which are quite language heavy and they can be very tough for a beginner to get through, especially somebody who is not that well versed with the English language. That could be very difficult for you to go through. For example, I I personally think Agatha Christie books are very easy to read. But I know from your feedback, from the people who have commented on the videos, that they find it difficult to read, and it's totally okay, because those books were written a long time back. And even my first Agatha Christie book, it took me some time to just get used to it, to get into it, because the language is a bit old, so you cannot really figure out right from the face of it like this book is off your reading level. I'm very sorry about it. It is actually a little bit of difficult and tricky to find out a book of your reading level. Moreover, one thing that you can do is go to Amazon, pick up the book you want to read, and then read the sample chapter. If you can understand the sample chapter easily, that book is according to your reading level. And if you cannot understand it, then you should pick up some other book first and just develop that level. You can also look for reviews about those books and see if some reviewer has mentioned the reading level, but then again, it's very subjective, all hit and trial. And that's about it for this part of the video. Now let's move on to the last thing, that is actually picking up the books. Where do you shop these books from? I personally always shop my books from Amazon. I always leave links down below in the description, which are my affiliate links about all the books that I have been purchasing or I have been recommending or talking about on the channel. So I always buy from Amazon, but you are free to explore other stores and whatever you like. If you have a physical bookstore in your city, go and support that physical bookstore and just shop from whatever place you trust. Now there is also this, Manpreet, should I read paperbacks, Kindle or audiobooks? I think all of them have their advantages. Now I have been constantly trying to move away from paperbacks, okay, because storing so many books and just keeping them, it gets hard over time and it is expensive. I must have about books worth 2 lakh rupees on my bookshelf, and I have not read half of them, and that is just 2 lakh rupees spent that could have been spent on something else. Now I'm not saying I'm thinking that those books were not valuable enough, but if I could get those books in the Kindle format, in the ebook format, I would have saved a lot of money, which is why I'm just moving to Kindle. And I have this Kindle device, Kindle Paperwhite, which I link down below, and I highly recommend having this device because it saves you money in long term, but at the same time highlighting and saving your notes from the books, that is also something that is very easy. So normally what I do on my Kindle, I'm reading a book, especially non-fictions, I just highlight everything and then send those notes to my email, and then I just have an automatically made PDF of all the things I noted down, all the things that I highlighted in a book. And I feel like that is one of the very good features of Kindle, and there are many more features. If you can find out more videos about using Kindle Paperwhite and using Kindle devices to read books, you will find that they have so many incredible features. So I'm finally moving on to adopt the technology and moving on to ebooks. But at the same time, I also love audiobooks, okay? Why? Because that helps me utilize my time better. If I'm doing a mundane task, dusting in the house or just walking my dog, I just put those books on and I can listen to them. So all three formats are super good, but if you're looking for something more affordable and something that will save you time, then ebooks and audiobooks are good to go. Okay, I am worried about the hoarding and all the books that I have accumulated, which is why I'm moving to Kindle. But there is one very big reason why I'm moving to Kindle. I bought so many books, I got those, and the font size was so small. It is hard on my eyes to read those books, okay? I'm a person who's always on my laptop working, and then when I want to rest and read for a while and I pick up that paperback with that small font, it is a nightmare for me. So I have ended up not even picking up half of the books that I have bought myself with my hard-earned money because of the font, which is why I feel like Kindle is better, because you can always change the font, and this particular font size that you're used to, and you can always read in that font size. I feel like that is one hurdle removed from my reading life, which is why I prefer Kindle, and audiobooks are a whole different thing. Anyway, my last parting words for this particular video, which I seriously hope that you have enjoyed and you have found useful, would be, it is hit and trial. You have to pick your books, go through that experience, that will help you know yourself better and pick better books. There is no other way around it. There are channels like mine and many more booktubers who can help you out a little bit, but ultimately reading books, that is a very personal experience, so you have have to go through this process to find your holy place, to find your utopia when it comes to books. And I wish you all the best for that. If you have any more questions about, like, Manpreet, I'm trying to decide what to read, but this is happening with me, could you help me out? I would love to help you out. Just comment down below with those questions and I will reply to them right away. And yes, thank you so much for watching this video. This is Manpreet signing off. I'll be back with another video very soon.